If you are looking to lose weight, you need to listen to this and listen to this to the end. Okay, now everyone thinks of weight loss as a caloric problem. If you need to go into caloric deficit, that's the quickest way to drop weight. That's the quickest way to drop muscle. But is it necessarily going to make you drop fat? Absolutely not. Obesity is not a caloric issue. It is a hormonal imbalance that causes you to put on the fat. Every time we eat any food, whether it's protein, fat, or carbohydrate, insulin will spike. Certain foods will make insulin spike less than the others. Carbohydrates make the insulin spike the most. Proteins make food spike a little less than carb, maybe a lot less than carb, but nothing reduces or causes the least spike of insulin as fats do. So like I always say, don't fear your fats, just eat the good ones. So remember, every time if you're going to eat and you're going to cause the insulin spike, we need to do what it takes to reduce the insulin level then, which in turn will take care of fat loss, meaning obesity. Now, there are only two main ways to do this. One is you eat less, which means you do an intermittent fasting. Now, because if you're not going to eat a certain number of hours, you're not going to spike your insulin. Whatever the kind of intermittent fasting you do, based on your lifestyle, whether it is a 16-8, whether it is time restricted, whether it is according to circadian rhythm, it really doesn't matter. If your eating window is small, which means if you're going to eat less often, you are going to spike your insulin less and you're going to drop the fat. The second way to do this is a ketogenic diet. Now, because the ketogenic diet is medium protein and high on good fats, and like I said, fats spike the insulin and blood sugar the least, you're going to achieve your goal. That being said, I'm not a fan of ketogenic diets simply because I don't find them sustainable. And of course, there are a certain group of people who it doesn't work for. If that's your preferred way of dropping the weight and you think the ketogenic diet works for you, do it. Just make sure you do it under supervision. There are also certain vitamins and supplements you need to take when you're on these kind of diets to make sure that you don't get any deficiencies of the same. So do it if that suits you, but just make sure you're doing it correctly. Now, important to remember is that whether it is ketogenic diet, whether it is intermittent fasting, most people try and resort to using artificial sweeteners when they're trying to drop weight because they're trying to reduce their calories. Whatever the sweetener, whether you're using stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, erythritol, some more than the others, but they will disrupt your gut microbiome, which means they will also cause not just the bad bacteria to proliferate, they also stimulate hunger. So if you're going to eat more, you're then also going to stimulate and produce more insulin, like we've discussed, which means you're going to put back that weight. Read fat. So whilst you're trying to drop your weight, just be careful not just to focus on the calories and to focus on these two modalities to get your fat loss and therefore reverse your obesity, but just do it correct. Stay well.